Well, today's the deadline for the Elizabeth School District to put a collection of banned books back on the shelves. That's what our Lawrence Graffiti was just reporting on. We know that this order was handed down by a federal judge earlier this week. However, the district says that's not happening. 9 News legal expert Whitney Traylor's joining us in studio to shed some light on this case. Whitney, good morning.
Good morning, Jordan. Good morning, Colorado.
Of course, we have some developments now in this story, but let's go back all the way to August when we first learned about this. What sparked this book ban in the first place?
Well, I think you're seeing these book bans that came up over the years, in the recent years, because you're having these cultural and political kind of partisan issues. And so you're seeing book bans across the country exponentially go up because the American Library Association keeps track of them, and they're more than doubling year after year since really, I think, 2021. And so here, what they did was they put these books on a list. They, I think, allowed the parents to come in to see the books if they want, but a number of these folks who banned the books hadn't actually read them. And so they put this book ban in, and of course the ACLU filed this lawsuit, and now we just had the judge rule in this preliminary injunction that the books had to be put back on because the Supreme Court has been very clear that with respect to a book ban, you can't ban books based on its content. You can ban them if they're vulgar and things like that, but not based on the content, which is what it looked like the school board did.
As you mentioned, this is far from an isolated event. We have seen book bans play out all across the country. What makes this one with the Elizabeth School District stand out from the rest? Yeah,
this one is different. I mean, it's very similar in the sense of it seems to be based on this cultural or partisan type issue, and I think there were even emails from the school board members referencing religion and conservative values and things of that nature. So what you're seeing here, though, is, and what struck me was the fact that several of these books had not been read, that they actually hadn't read the books, but it was either based on the title or what they heard, that they nonetheless still put it on the book ban. So this is, I think this is similar to a lot of the book bans, but what we're seeing across the country is that the courts are really referring or giving deference to the locality. And that's what the Supreme Court said in 1982, was that localities basically determine what books are banned. But the issue here, Jordan, and I think it's really important to understand, is when people talk about, for example, internet filters or things like that, that's for one child. You can protect your child, if you will. But here, when you're saying, well, I disagree with the content of this book, you're removing it for everyone. So it doesn't just affect your child. So these book bans, I think, are really significant.
I want to ask you about the latest development, which is the district saying that they will not be returning the books to the shelves. What are the consequences of this happening?
Well, I just heard that from Lauren, and I'm actually quite surprised. I mean, that's basically ignoring a federal judge's order. The judge, Judge Sweeney, she said that they had to return the books. There were 19 books that were banned. They had to be returned by the 25th, which is today. Well, I just heard that they're refusing to do so. That's really contempt. So there could be a number of different sanctions, from financial sanctions to being put in jail, things of that nature. I would be surprised if something like that happened, but I'm really surprised that they just completely ignored this court order. And I know there is on March 31st, there is a status conference, but if they're outrightly saying we're ignoring this, there may be something before that.
All right, sounds like there's going to be more developments to follow in the future. Whitney, we'll have you back to talk about that.
Sounds good.
Thank you, my friend.